What's up, everyone? Welcome to Relatively Uncharted. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Nick, and we're cousins, and we're here just talking about anything and everything.
Each week, we'll bring on a different guest, find out who they are and what they love to do.
And while we're getting ready for our next guest, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons below.
Here we go.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Relatively Uncharted. This is a very special one, an exciting one for me. As being a huge Survivor fan, we have our first Survivor player, Survivor guest, Sami Layadi. Thank you for coming on. Did I pronounce the name right?
Yes, sir. You got it right, bro. That's good.
Let's
It's almost like
let's
it's
go.
almost like you heard it before.
I watched the show just a few times for sure.
It's good stuff. It's usually I get lady, Layadi, like it's whatever, bro. You got
what
good.
is the proper one?
Layadi. So
Layadi?
I actually So you actually said it right. I remember one time my little brother, he's my twin brother, but somebody called him Lady, like over the mic,
Oh
and it was
shit!
just like, man, we was still that was a bad day. We felt disrespected.
No disrespect here for sure. But definitely excited to have you on. Season 43 contestant, which is a couple seasons back by now, but we're just gonna kind of dive into kind of the whole pre-casting, and then obviously your time on the show and post-show, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll look into what you're doing with college and what kind of career you're chasing and what all that good stuff. But we'll start it off, man. Like you were the eighth. I don't know if you knew this or not. You probably know this by now. You were the eighth youngest player to ever play the game, at 19 years old and some months. But with all that being said, did you before you got casted? What were you doing? Like you just chilling at home, like finished high school? What was going on?
Yeah, bro. So man, dude, just let me take you back, bro. So I played football in high school, and I really wanted to play football like in college, like all throughout high school. And then I slowly started getting the realization that that was probably not gonna happen because like I broke my ankle when I was a junior, and then when I was a senior, we didn't have a season. I also just wasn't that good at football, so like we just like it just I don't know. It started setting in, and I was like, dang, bro, like man, what am I gonna do? So this guy that he's in my church, he actually had a job opening, and it was he owned a mortuary, and it was to cremate pets.
Yeah,
And I was like, my
I guess
grandpa
that's
had
what I'll
passed
do.
away like a year before, and my grandpa always did crazy weird jobs just to like get a rouse out of us, like our his grandkids and stuff. And so like
Right?
I was like, bro, man, maybe all right then. Like maybe I'll do it then. Like maybe I'll just do it because like my grandpa, like oh, he would think that was funny. So I worked. I started working as a pet cremator, and I was like, bro, let me just tell you, Ryan. Let me just tell you, it's about as fun as it sounds.
Is it as
Okay,
sad as it sounds?
heartbreaking, literally heartbreaking, bro. Like you literally are running into the hospitals, picking dogs up out of the freezer and putting them in the back of your truck.
Oh, so they don't
I'm
even bring them. They don't bring them to you. You have to go sometimes get these pets.
No, bro, you have to go. You have to everywhere.
Oh,
You have to drive around, pick them up, walk in, and then sometimes we had to go through this thing called Banfield Pet Hospital. So it was in the back of the Pet Smart. So we had to walk through the Pet Smart. You had to make sure you push the little wagon. Like you had to get like a little crate, and you had to cover the pet. Like
oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh!
bro, like I felt like a weirdo, bro. And
I
I
think
remember
I
going out to my truck, like, bro, just
feeling gross, sad.
bro, I was just sitting in my truck, like crying, bro. Like, why? How did I get here?
Yeah. What am I doing right now? Why am I not killing pets, but uh, you know, cremating them?
Well, dude, I thought I was supposed to be in the NFL right now. Like, I'm like, I was supposed to be on my way to the NFL, and instead I'm sitting in my truck, and I was just very sad that high school was over, man. I was really just like crushed, bro. And so, anyways, as time went on, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I thought you were about to say something
No, you're
like
good.
earlier. No,
No,
okay.
you're good. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I was just whipping it, bro, and I was like, man, bro, like, oh, this is so awful, man. Like this, I was, I was dating this girl at the time. Like she was great and everything. Um, but like she was the only good thing that was going for me right then, bro. Other
Yeah.
than that, I was like, dang, bro, like this is this blows, man. And so I'm driving around at 5 in the morning, bro. 5 in the morning, I'm driving around. I'm depressed. I'm so heartbroken. I'm driving around. I pull up to the hospital. Same old, bro. I try to go through the side door. It's locked. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I have to go through the front today. Whatever. I usually never have to go through the front. Fine. So then I go up to, dang, bro, I didn't even think about this until like right now. This is crazy. God is good, man. I drove around to the front and I was like, bro, all right. So I went to the front and the TV is on and Survivor's on the TV.
Oh
It's
shit.
Survivor Heroes versus Villains
Yeah.
with Russell Hantz like
Season
sitting there in
20.
the tribal. And I'm like, dude, I haven't watched Survivor in a minute. I'm like, dude, I
Yeah.
haven't watched Survivor in a fat minute, bro. Like, I wonder what's going on with that. And so I went back to the back to go pick up the dogs, and I looked up Survivor cast, like the new. This is in June, and the cast usually leaks right around then. And it was season 41 and
Okay.
42. The cast had just leaked, and I looked at it, and I'm like, bro, let me check. Let me see what's the like. I haven't watched the show in a minute. Let me see what this is hitting on. And I'm looking at everybody, and I see this guy. I'm looking at where they're all from. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, Ontario. Oh, okay, cool. Like this person's from New York. And I get to season 42, and there's this guy named Roxroy, and he is from Vegas.
Did you know him?
And I was so mad, bro. No, I didn't know him, but I was pissed off because I was like, bro, I just want to be on this show, man. And now I can't because this is this person from Vegas. He's the only guy they're gonna pick from Vegas. That's it. Like they're
Yeah.
not gonna pick somebody else from Vegas for a minute.
Right.
And so I remember driving around, bro. Now I'm just really pissed off, bro.
All down.
But now, like before, I was pissed off, but now I'm pissed off, and I have a mini Schnauzer and a Dachshund in the back of my truck. You know what I'm
Ready to
saying?
get fried.
Just ready to get fried. And so now I'm driving back, bro. Like I'm just like, I call my mom later in the day. I'm like, Mom, like, you can't believe, you'll never believe this. I was gonna apply to be on Survivor, but I can't because they picked somebody from Vegas already. And my mom was like, Sammy,
Do it. Do it anyway.
do you hear yourself right now? Like, stop being an idiot. Just do it. And I was like, all right, bro. Like, fine. Like, I'll do it if Mia, my sister, I'll do it if she's not home. Because I was gonna get embarrassed if she was home.
I
Like, I
feel
didn't
that.
want to do it in front of her. You feel me?
Trust me, I feel that. I've applied a few times. I know the feeling.
Yeah, bro. You gotta do it when nobody else is there, bro. Like,
Yes.
I'm not trying to have her make fun. Like, I don't want anybody to know about this. Like, if
It's
people
all
know I did,
it's all embarrassing until you make it on the show.
exactly. But that's the thing. Like, if you don't make it, it's like, oh,
What are
no,
you
I don't want
doing here?
anybody to know that I did it because then they're gonna ask me anyway. So like, I went home. Lucky me, bro. Mia wasn't home, so I was like, dang, man. Like, all right, well, I guess I gotta do this now. Like, I guess I gotta do this. So I put my phone up on I put my little phone up on the thing. I don't know, this like little ledge in my
Just
kitchen.
started recording.
Just started recording, bro. Just made a little video. I said, what's good, CBS? I'm Sammy. My name is Sami Layadi, blah, 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 from Vegas, blah, blah, blah. And then I went outside. Like, I started going like this, like, showing my life outside. I finished it right before my sister got home, literally right before she got home. And then I was like, all right, bro, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send this video in, and then I'm going to go on a run. I'm just going to go on a run. I'm just going to try to forget about it. I'm going to run to the LDS temple. I'm going to run to the temple, and then I'm going to run back because I'm a G. You know,
Just forget about it.
just forget about it. Just forget I even did it because that's what they all say to do.
Yeah.
They all say to do it. And so I'm like,
Go work
I
out.
forgot to mention the spark of this, like the spark of the idea of doing this came at the end of Winners at War. Because at the
Yeah.
end of Winners at War, Jeff Probst is like, you should apply even if you're 16, 17, 18. And I was 18 at the time.
Okay.
But like that was when I first thought about doing it. But then this was like okay, let's do it. And so I sent the video in. I got a little email. Thank you for applying to Survivor. And I ran. I just went on my run.
And I
And
ran.
then
That
I
was
actually
it.
forgot about it. I actually like within the next day I forgot about it. Like I didn't remember I did it at all. I'm sitting at work, bro. Just picked up the daily dosages, the daily route, and there is a curtain that separates the mortuary from the pet side. We had the pet people and then the people. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I opened that up to like go across, like to like go to the bathroom or whatever. And I check my phone and I get this number. It's 9 something. I'm not gonna expose his phone number, but I got 925 902. I don't know, like whatever
Some Cali
California
number.
is. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, what? And he said, "Hello, Sammy. My name is,
So
what
and
what
so.
his name is, and I'm a casting producer with Survivor. I saw your video and I wanted to know if I could learn more about you." And I was like,
Damn, that's a call I need to get.
dog. I was like, I had to look this dude up. Like I'm like, this is fake, bro. No way. This ain't real,
Right.
man. And bro, I texted him back, and then he was like, yeah, man, calls are usually like 20, 30 minutes. Let me know if that works for you. Bro, I'm like, can we do it right now? Like,
Yeah.
can I go
Yeah. Let's
home?
let's
I'm
run
trying
it.
to, I'm trying to go home, bro. Like, I'm not trying to. And so then, I was like, yeah, bro. I'll always make time for. I try to play it off like, oh, cool. Like, oh yeah, of course, man. Like, always make time for Survivor. So we hop on a phone call. I go to my backyard. I have a little brother. This is him actually now. Oh shoot, that's him now. He's a dog. His name is Kyler, like Kyler Murray. Anyways, so he's very loud and like run around all the time. So I had to go in the backyard to do the phone call, and I was talking to this dude like, yeah, man, like, basically he just asking me quite like, oh, who's your favorite Survivor contestant? Blah blah blah. Blah, blah. We were just going back and forth, and by the end of that phone call, he's like, hey man, like it's pretty tough to get on the show, just so you know, it's pretty tough. And I was like, okay, like I get it, like makes sense. And he's like, but I appreciate you getting to know me, or appreciate letting me get to know you a little bit more. I'll email you, let's redo your video a little bit, make it a little bit better, and that way we can see if you have a shot. And I was like, all right, bro. So he sends me things to do with my video. He's like, okay, you need to do this, like say this part, like just freshen this up because some of this is kind of boring. He was like, dude, some of this is boring. And I was like, me boring? Like, no, I,
What are you talking about?
okay, like my bad. Like, and so I was like, okay, cool. So I started doing stuff, and then, bro, all of a sudden, crickets, bro, nothing. Couldn't like nothing. Like I was texting him, and this is very common, by the way, with the process. Everybody that wants to go through the process, very common. Like
He goes
just to
quiet for
get
a while.
ghosted. Yeah, bro. And I'm just like, bro, I blew it, man. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on? All of a sudden, he texts me like 2 weeks later because he's like, you'll hear back from me in a few days. It takes like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Anyways, so yeah, then a couple weeks later, he gets back to me. Things start ramping up, and I'm not gonna, I won't go through the whole blah 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 whatever. But
Yeah.
then, we just start going through the process, and then all of a sudden, he calls me. I do the process. I go through the finals, all that good stuff with the show, and then I get the phone call in like February, and he's like, "Hey, Sammy, got some news for you, man." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, bro!" I'm like, all this because at this point it's been silent for me for like months, and I'm
Yeah.
like after I did all my interviews and stuff, I'm like, "Oh, bro, I'm gonna miss it, man. Like, I can't, like, I'm not gonna be able to live life knowing I could have been this close to being on the show, man." He's
Right.
like, "Yeah, so I wanted to let you know, man. They asked you if you want to be on Survivor 43," and I was like, no fucking. I was like, no way. I started cussing, bro, screaming. That's the call that you dream of. I will never forget that moment in my life, bro. And yeah, then the show happened. That's the
So
crazy stuff.
so how long from the first phone call, like when the guy like the first reach out and you're like, what the heck, who's this guy, till like that last phone call? How like just timeline, I guess, give us how long did that take?
The first phone call was
Or like
September, and
and
then
you
that other one was February. So it's
okay. It was a span of
5
months.
months, but I didn't
Yeah.
hear. Everything happened. Everything I did to interview to get on the show was between September and like October.
And then you
And
just
then it
kind of
was
were
dead
waiting.
silent for 4 months.
Jeez.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's yeah, we won't get too far into it because there's obviously a long process and a lot of stuff that goes into that. But definitely a stressful time for you. Once you get that first phone call, you're like, dude, like this is it. And then it took, 4 or 5 months for you just to get the 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 final call, like, hey man, like you're coming on. Which
Bro,
is
I'm an overthinker at heart, man. I'm an
I feel
overthinker at
that.
heart. And
I feel
so
that.
the the waiting was just it was brutal, man. It was so
So
awful. It was so awful.
so you applied when you're 18, you got on the show at the show told us 19. Is that accurate? Were you 19 when you got onto the show?
Yeah, I actually literally finished my interviews like right before my birthday.
Okay. And then
Mhm.
so how that was what 2022? How old are you now?
I was in 2021, and
2021.
the show happened in 2022. I'm 21 now,
Okay.
so I'm
Just
of
get a little
legality.
yeah, I gotta get a little reference because the show records and doesn't air until like later that like 4 or 5 months later, right?
Yeah, so the show records in. I got all this headspace, bro. Try to see me, you feel me? The show records in early, the early months of the year, so like April, May. For my specific show, it recorded in April and didn't come out until September.
September. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. So we can get into that in a second. So let's just kind of like go into the show, right? So, everybody says everybody like wants to play the game, and then once they get the opportunity to play the game, everybody says they have a plan, right? They have a game plan. They have a thought out idea. They
Mhm.
have their strategy of the way they're going to go about it. But like the famous quote, like when everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, like is that pretty
Mike
accurate to
Tyson.
what?
Yes, sir.
Is that pretty accurate to what you went through?
Dude, 100% accurate. At the end of the day, I was I was I remember being so like agitated with like I wish that they told me I was going on the show the day before we left. Because I was like, dude, if I don't use all this time right now,
It's a
I'm going to hate myself forever. Like if I
Right.
don't like prepare for this accurately. So, and I was still in school at the time. It was my first semester of college. So I was trying to like do my first semester in like puzzles and like social, I don't know, like I'm trying to like be more social with people or whatever. Like and so it was frustrating because I was like, bro, I need to use all this time as possible. So preparing, as far as the strategy goes, I didn't have a way I wanted to prepare. I watched all of the seasons, I watched all the players, and I wasn't watching for what I thought people were doing well because I was like, this is kind of subjective. I was watching for like what was the word like what were the
What,
worst things you could
what are
possibly
the
do?
idiots doing? Yeah.
Yeah, what are the idiots doing? Like they're sleeping too long, or they're talking about other people and being unaware of whatever it may have been, bro. Like, and I was trying to study up on that so that I wouldn't fall victim to the same things that everybody else was falling victim to. It seemed
Yeah.
like, and so that was the only way I studied and prepared because to me, I was like, bro, I just got to get in there and feel it out, and I'm gonna know after a couple of days
How I'm
the
gonna
way I
do.
want my strategy to go and the way
Yeah.
I want everything to be. But like if you go in with a predetermined plan, like you said, with the punched in the mouth part, it's the same thing with the UFC and I mean, it's the same thing, bro. Like you're gonna get punched in the first couple minutes of a UFC fight. That's what's gonna happen. And in
Yeah.
Survivor, you will get punched in the first hour of the show. You will get punched in the first hour of arriving to the island if you try to be predetermined and like it's not gonna work.
Gotta be able to pivot to next game plan, see what's working, see what's not working, feel it out, like
Always.
get to know the other 17 people on the island with you. Because if you go in with a plan and the 17 people that are with you, and they don't they don't feel the same way, they don't fit your plan, then your plan won't
Bro,
go
and the
into
game is on.
place.
The game is on from the moment that you get to the hotel. From the moment you get to the hotel in quarantine, the game is on. Like you're with other people and you're not allowed to talk, and you're looking at each other. Body language says, I think it's a study that says like 30% of language or whatever like is
Based
nonverbal,
on
and it's like
right.
so the game is on from that moment. You know what I'm saying? You're holding the door for people. You're not mad dogging anybody. Everything's like we're wearing
Smiles.
masks too, so it's like everybody's smiling, like it's crazy.
Yeah. So you get on you get on the island, I guess, get to the hotel. Like, is it like you said? I know you just said it was kind of it starts right away. You're kind of quarantines. You're not speaking kind of deal. But when you get to the island, actual like how much like it's so weird to kind of ask the right question because of the filming aspect. But like, how much time do we not see of like from the start to finish
Like of the whole show.
of like the I know like a day to day, but like I guess like. Is there stuff like before y'all pull up on the boats in the very first episode? What is there like pre-island stuff that happens?
You do a few like interviews and stuff like that, but you're on the island. You're on the island for like a week
So
before the show actually starts, and that's
but
just doing interviews, medical checks, swim tests, all these kind of things. Like really, it's like boot camp. Like it's just right.
yeah.
You're sleeping in a tent. It's Survivor boot camp. You're getting ready to play, and it's so awful, bro. So awful.
Are they
No
feeding you?
phones. No
Are they feeding
phones.
you in that first week?
Yes, you are getting
And
food, and it is, with all due respect, I don't know. It was gross. It was just
bad.
gross.
Yeah,
It was cafeteria buffet lunch food.
just basic food. So then, when you pull up on the boat to that first, whatever it's the challenge, or whether they send you off to like a little whatever you call it, whatever, like a little island escape, whatever they call it. But so that night, that's when it's like, all right, I'm sleeping on the beach. I have no food. I have no tent. I have nothing. Like it's what Jeff gives me from what the show shows us, or is there some background that we don't see?
It's huge, bro. The night before is huge, man. It's insane. You know that the next day is game time. You know the next day is game day, right? It's
Right.
game day. It's like if you're like an athlete or whatever. And it's just like this anticipation just builds up. Like it just starts building up because the entire week you're like, dude, I just want it to be game day already, bro. And then when it actually comes time, it's like, ooh, I don't know, man. Like, can we get another day or two? And so you go to sleep. I didn't sleep a wink that night. I was in a nervous sweat the entire night. 3 in the morning, they wake you up like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Time to play, time to play. You go get your clothes on. You go get the clothes on that you brought, like for the show, because they're different than the ones that you were wearing the entire
Right.
week.
They kind of pick that out for you, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's got to fit your color scheme and everything. And then all I always saw, I walk over towards the cafeteria. I just see 3 rows of 3 chairs with 18 chairs. They said, sit in this line. Like, Sammy, sit in this line right here. Or they don't say your name. They just say your initials. SL, whatever. Sit in this line. Sit in this line. Sit in this line. And then all of a sudden, bro, that's when ish gets real. Because they give you the buff. And that's the first time you ever seen the
Oh,
logo.
they tell you your
You
tribes
never
and
seen the
everything.
logo. They then you know your tribe. Then you know because
The
you're
Baka
sitting
tribe.
behind. Everybody's sitting behind you, and so they give you everything. And I get the yellow buff, and I see my dogs behind me. I see my dogs Owen, Cass, or I see Owen, Gabler, Ellie, Janine, Mariah. Everybody's behind me. I'm like, oh shoot! And then that's when it gets real. That's when the game is on. You get on a boat, you shoot that little intro part, and it's on.
So, is there a lot of retakes and recuts of what Jeff's saying to y'all and like all that stuff, or is it pretty accurate, like filmed, and then you're just into the challenges?
No retakes. Jeff is very professional and very good at what he does.
I
The
figured
only
so.
they cut a lot of the stuff that's said already, just in terms of
Right.
like he talks to everybody, right? In the beginning. And
He says
like
something to
guy
everybody.
in the guy in the blue, what's your name? Like he says he asks
Right.
everybody the same like it's not like oh one after the other.
Yeah.
But Jeff's job, right, is to just get a mix of different
Backgrounds, information, all
clips
that stuff. Yeah.
that the editors could pick from, you know?
Got you. So, yeah. So then, I mean, so it sounds like like Jeff's good at what he does. He runs through it all, and then the challenge is on, and obviously everything you see in the challenge is real. I mean, it's as real as it gets out there. Is there anything like? I mean, it sounds like everything we see is just like constant 24/7 recording. Like it's pretty raw, real footage. Is that pretty accurate? I don't want to go too far into the recording aspect of things.
No, bro, it is all real and raw. I still get confused and surprised when people ask me if it's real. People say it's fake. And first of
I
all, losers, bro. Loser ass people that say that stuff, man. Just for real. I'm being so serious. Like I, people like I've had people say that to me that like and I'm just like, bro, like you would think it's fake because you wouldn't be able to do it. Like you're lame
yeah,
for that. And so I don't know really know why I just got so offended by that, but like
no,
it would make me so mad because like those people are working so hard, man, to make sure that everything is like authentic. Like the camera people, they don't eat in front of us, bro. They barely even drink water in front of us. They're in the trenches with us too, man. They
yeah.
have to be out there too. Like, and so like everything is real and raw and uncut. And as far as the camera part goes, you completely forget that, bro. What I have to wait. I had to answer this, bro. Look, I'm on a podcast right now. It's Jesse.
Yo,
A podcast, dude. This guy is a legend. You know this guy, right?
I DM that guy too.
I'm gonna call you back. Dog, bro. Sorry about that. I had to.
No,
You would
you're good.
appreciate that, dog.
I DM'd him to come on the show.
I'll let him know, bro. He's a loser for that. But bro, like they're in the trenches with you too, you know, and so it's super like everything is raw, and you forget that the cameras are even there. You
Yeah.
completely forget that they're even there.
Yeah. So let's dive into your gameplay. So like you said, you got on there, you were in Baca, you had Owen, Jesse, Gabler, Janine, who am I
Janine,
missing here?
Owen, Janine, Ellie, Gabler,
Ellie,
Mariah.
Mariah. Yeah. So that's your team that's your tribe to start. And y'all you were pretty good with almost everybody in the tribe. You had a solid relationship. No one really, at least from the TV point of view, it seems like you had like a solid relationship. No one really rubbed wrong with you. And it kind of just got you through like the tribal phase of the game. Like no, I mean your name was really never in jeopardy when it came to when you guys lost or lost a immunity challenge or anything like that. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, bro. I made sure to like. I was very nervous until we could talk to each other. Like I was very nervous about the outcome of like everything that was gonna happen until I could like actually talk to everybody else, and I realized I was in a decent spot because I was not outwardly. I mean, everybody's very cagey. Nobody's. If you had to vote somebody off after the first night, I don't think that most of the time. I think most of the time nobody would be able to do that. It's very hard, and
Yeah.
something that I realized very early on was, man, this game's gonna be tough because I genuinely loved after a couple of days, man, after a day and a half, like first night together, like just loved every single one of those people, man, like so much. Like you just grow so close to them, and it's just such a cool thing to like I don't know, you're going through this insane experience together, and it's like us versus the world, right? And so um, for me, I felt like I was doing a good job of getting to know everybody a little bit on a more personal level. Ellie specifically was somebody that me and her went off and kind of made a little bit of like a pact, like, well, I'll watch out for you. Janine was somebody that I felt like I was pretty close with because of being close with Ellie. Mariah was my dog. Like Mariah was so sick and really had a special place in everybody's heart from the get go. As far as Owen and Gabler went, you know, they were my boys, right? So it's like I felt like I was able to adapt to like everybody. Like I felt like I could find something in common with everybody. For Ellie, she lived in Utah. I live in Utah. Mariah, she's from Philly and she likes the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan. Like I
Yes,
don't need
sir.
like I don't like so it was good banter with that. Like with Owen, you know. Owen is actually so well versed in so many things. Like actually is genuinely like one of the smartest dudes in the broad spectrum of topics. That was easy. Gabler, hilarious. So I could just be real. I could just be real with him. And then you know, was like Janine was like my little sister. So I, it was just easy for me to
Easy to
find things with
fit.
everybody.
Right. You just fit it well. And actually, Gabler's coming on Monday, on the podcast on Monday. So,
My reign of having the best episode on the podcast is literally gonna last three
well,
days
we'll air it after that. We'll air it after Gabler,
because
so you can
that
take
dude
the reign
is
back.
a freaking legend, bro. And we don't
Yeah.
like we'll get into that, but he's a
Yeah.
legend.
So, Baca was pretty solid. You and Gabler had a little bit of a tiff at the puzzle, not the puzzle, the maze challenge. Y'all were both controlling the table and the ball had to roll off, and you got a little frustrated at him there in that challenge. And just go over the challenges as a whole as like the group challenges. Like, it can be overwhelming at times. No, like is it high? Obviously high stress, but just kind of take us into what challenges are like. At least the group challenges.
Yeah, man. So by day three, I was starting to feel a little bit like, man, like
I could eat.
I was. We had this togetherness that was special, but there was a lack of like strategizing people on their own. Like we weren't breaking off, going into groups, making alliances, blah blah blah. We were always together all the time. So I was starting to get frustrated by that, bro. And then we did the challenge, and like that's just ego, man. Challenges are all ego, bro. They're all
The
ego based.
the
Like that's
truest
all they.
side of competitors comes out when you're in that raw form of high adrenaline.
That's it, bro.
Everything's on the line. Like there's nothing else that matters right now, and the true competitor comes out of you.
Learned a lot, dude. Learned a lot just in that challenge. I learned that Ellie and Janine and like all the girls on our tribe. I learned, bro. dogs, absolute dogs, especially Mariah and Ellie. They were just some dogs, bro. Just absolute freaking savage, man. Like running up the ramp and all that good stuff. Janine got under the log and all that. And by the time we got to the end, I was feeling like, dang, bro, man, like we need to like me and Gabriel, like we need to pull our weight a little bit. Like we need to get going. And so I thought it was gonna be me and Owen on the puzzle. I always wanted to be in that spot because I just love that stuff. I just love like I want to be in the spot. Like I want to be the man in the arena, not the
Where
one
it
watching on the
matters.
outside. Like, oh,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. I hope they get it. All of a sudden, Gabriel pulls up next to me, and jeez, dude, if we could have done that on like day 20 or something, maybe we could have gotten it. I'll
Y'all
be
are-
so honest, dude. We would have left Fiji about a week ago if we had to have finished. If they wouldn't have let us leave till we finished it, we probably would have left a week ago if we were lucky.
Oh my gosh!
Just
The
couldn't
little-
get it.
The little maze, the ball with the maze.
Just couldn't get it. Just
Yeah, so,
couldn't
like,
get it.
The challenges, like, how much do they tell you? Like, hey, like maybe train this a little bit, get good at this. Like, obviously, if
Nothing.
you watch the show, you got some prior knowledge. No,
They
so
don't
they don't
tell you
anything.
anything.
Yeah,
No.
so it's
No,
all prior show knowledge.
they'll run you through it. Like Jeff runs you through the challenge before you do it, so you have in good detail. You know everything that's going on. That's why,
Yeah.
like when they do those little demonstrations, like I think people get confused. Like, oh, how do they know what to do? Well, you know exactly what to do. You get ran through every single step. You walk through it, and he'll show you everything that you're supposed to do. And if you're a super fan, you've probably seen them before, like that table thing, that maze.
It's
I've
been
seen that
around.
before, right? Like
Yeah.
I've done that before. I practiced it in my little dorm room, like, the little like strings and like, but golly, bro. I remember just sitting we were after the challenge. So you sit in tents before and after challenges, get a little medical check, make sure everything's good before you head back to camp. And you can't talk when you're in this tent, by the way. I was sitting in that tent, bro, and I was like, I have mud all over me. My clothes are dirty now. My face is muddy. And I'm just pissed, bro. I'm just like,
Someone's
great.
going home that night.
Someone's going home, and it could be me because I'm one of the two people that was on the front battle lines, on the front lines, and
Yeah.
couldn't get the job done.
Yes, that's where it gets risky there, right? You want to be the man in the arena, but then as Survivor history goes, like the person at the end of the challenge that does the puzzle or does the maze, whatever it might be, the end of the challenge, the person that volunteers, like they're usually the easy finger to point at if you end up losing.
Everybody wants to make money the way that
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, the way that Dak Prescott, the way that these guys make money. Everybody wants to make that kind of money. Go up and ask anybody in the world, hey, dude, you want a share of 500 million? You want to share 170 million? They're going to say yes. But nobody wants
do
to
the work.
deal with the repercussions of what it takes to be that person, of
Yeah.
what it takes to be the leader, the guy that stepped up and did it. You feel me? That's just,
Yeah.
look at this guy.
Well, welcome Nick on.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're a
Yes,
little quiet.
sir.
Right on.
But yeah,
Sammy,
no.
what's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Dude, we're just getting started, man.
I know it looked like I interrupted a little bit.
No, you're good, brother.
I didn't want to jump in there, but dude, sorry I'm late. Appreciate you doing this for us. Definitely want to hear your story. And
Yes, sir, bro.
But yeah, just quick introduction. I'm Nick, Ryan's cousin. So get back to what you're doing. It sounded like it was getting serious right there. So
Nick, I don't know if your mic's coming through.
no, Mike.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you're on the computer. But
Let me tune that. You guys get going.
we were talking about the challenges and how crazy it gets, life's on the line. Like you were saying how no one wants to be the man at the end of the fight that gets blamed for whether or not you win or lose the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So you lost that challenge, headed to tribal council. This is kind of tied into my next question, sort of. You lost that challenge. Tribal council tonight, someone's going home, right? And so obviously there's a whole strategy side of things and everyone's freaking out. But the idea of going to tribal council is what everybody, sort of dreams of, right? You walk in and it's just the unbelievable,
I'm glad you said that, man.
Unbelievable atmosphere, right? From TV, it looks sick, but I guarantee you, when you're walking through it and the fire's lit and you're just sitting there and Jeff's across from you, it's got to be one of the most unreal things in life.
You know what, man? I don't reflect on it quite enough, but I remember I remember when we lost, I'm glad that Jeff didn't speak. I'm glad Jeff didn't. So after you lose and you stay behind at the challenge, he'll ask you questions, right? He'll be like, "How does this feel right now?" And he asked it to Mariah. Mariah's crying, Janine's crying, Gaylor's crying, everybody's crying, everybody's sad. I was just like, Jeff, bro, ask. I'm literally the only one that he didn't ask a question. I'm like, bro, ask me. I'm like, ask me because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm excited. I'm trying to go vote somebody off. I'm tired of this right now. So I'm glad he didn't say that because I was genuinely pissed off in that moment. And so to your point, when we got back to camp and I quickly realized, I remember I went up to Ellie and she's like, who are we gonna vote off? You? That'd be stupid. And I was like, okay
Sick.
then. Like, I was like, all right then. So then I went on ahead and did one of these numbers. I kicked my foot up on I kicked my shoe up and I was like, okay, like, so what's going on then? Let me just enjoy this then. Let's just have a good time with this. And, we did the whole strategy thing. It was nuts. Even just with 6 people, it was crazy running around trying to capture whatever everybody's doing. And, we can get in the strategy of it if you want, but it's kind of just like one person says one thing, another person says another thing. We get to tribal and one of the people that is designated to handle us and make sure that we don't talk to each other and everything like that said what you just said. Literally said what you just said. He said, "I know it sucks to be here. I know it sucks. I know you don't want to, like, nobody wants to be here, but try to appreciate it because a lot of people work really hard to, make it look the way that it does, and it's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty cool." And I was like, "All right, bro, like, cool. Like, let's go then. Let's go vote somebody." And then our theme was like, I don't know why, but it was like I don't know, it was like school, like bamboo, like or baboon, excuse me,
Yeah.
baboon, like school, like voodoo kind of stuff. And so we walk in there, bro, and I was like, oh my gosh, bro, this is nuts. Like, there's lights everywhere. There's lights everywhere. There's little stools, like there's the little stools that we sit on, and Jeff Probst is just like standing like posted like this, and his bro, he changes into some clean white Adidas shoes, bro. Some clean. He just wears some like chill little shoes during the challenge. He's in some clean Adidas shoes. Like, he's got pants on. He's got a nicer little shirt on, and his hair is all combed. And I'm like, dude, this is about to get real. And then then we sit down. The benches, by the way, oh my
Suck.
gosh, they're so uncomfortable, bro.
How long are
They
you there for?
suck.
How long did
It took
tribal
like
last?
it would take like an hour. It took like an hour, maybe an hour, 10 minutes. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I remember reading online they could go for hours, and I don't remember one ever being. My concept of time could have been completely messed up, but I felt like they were never incredibly long. They were just long enough. They were as long as Jeff needed to get every player to say their piece, and you could
Something.
keep it going as long as you wanted to. But most people don't want it to keep it going for forever. They just want to, because most of the time you don't know that if it's going to be you or not. So you just want to be like, okay, well, I just hope it's not me. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, so is it pretty just kind of like raw back and forth banter with Jeff and the other tribe mates, or does Jeff really kind of control it and ask the right questions?
He asks all the right questions, but the thing is this is what separates those that get to. This is what separates those that are. I don't know. I don't know how to say this like the right way. I guess like what separates those that will make it on the show and those that will, do well on the show from those that will never make it on the show, and even those that do make it on the show and just are never going to get any kind of screen time or whatever it may be, are those that are at tribal and will turn Jeff's question into something beyond the cliche that we usually hear.
Right.
And so, to your point, if he's controlling it when he asks you a question, you're being too cagey. Like, when you're cagey and when you're not giving up information, and it's not about it's not a matter of it's not a matter of giving up secrets. That's not what I'm saying he wants you to do. But if I said, Ryan, how do you feel? Ryan, what's kind of the vibe with this tribe right now? And you just said, Jeff, vibes are pretty good. We're pretty chill. We're having a good time. We're just trying to make sure that we all stick together and make the right vote tonight.
He wants to stir the pot.
I've literally, I fell asleep, dude. I fell asleep in the middle of you saying that.
Exactly.
Like, you got to. That's and like Nick just said, like that's Jeff's job. Ultimately, is like tell the story and stir the pot a little bit, man. Get a little bit of like somebody's going home. So when everybody just says like the same thing and everybody says like we feel pretty good tonight, we feel pretty good.
It's not
It's
real.
like it's not real. Somebody's leaving
Someone's
tonight.
fire exiting stuff.
Like and so yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that was perfect. Like, I mean, obviously, it's one of those things that you can't really explain unless you've been in it and been around it and walked in and felt the fire around you. But definitely something that we hope to, or at least I hope to experience one day. But we can continue on through your game and kind of we'll get to the merge, right? So you got a pretty comfortable spot in the tribe, right? You fit good, you had good relationships, never really too big of a worry of you going home in the tribal phase of the game, and then the merge hits. And if you're a Survivor fan, like that's where the game turns on. Like that's where everything gets real. Like
Yeah.
it's time to go. And for your season, kind of the new era of Survivor, they have that limbo phase of the merge. Like you have to do a competition before you even get into the merge, before you even get your merge buff. And they split you into the six, and there's 2 tribal councils, all that stuff. So it's definitely a weirder phase than what old era Survivor does. But when the merge hits and there's these 12 or so, or I guess whatever it is, 10 other people that you've never met before, and all you've done, well, I guess you've seen them and you've interacted with them, but you've never got to speak to them before. What's that like?
Man, it's crazy because, like you said, you form opinions on people. So everybody on the blue tribe, Coco, we hated all of them because we're like they just keep winning.
Yep.
They just keep winning and like they're all cocky and they're the douchey, like whatever. Like we don't like them. The red team, the red tribe, helped us on a puzzle one time, so we're like,
They're chill.
"What's good? What's good, y'all?" Like I'm excited to we're excited to see those people, and so the merge is coming in. It's just nerve wracking. It's just nerve wracking because you want to make a good impression on everybody. I feel like I've done so much work to this point to make a good impression on the people in my tribe, on my team, and now I have to do it with double the amount of people and manage all those relationships at once. And so everybody gets there, and it's just very like we all just go on a walk around the island together. We give them a tour of the island. I see people talking to people. I'm starting to pick up little things. I'm starting to pick up like, okay, Ryan doesn't like being talked to. He likes talking. He doesn't want to listen. He doesn't like listening. So that's good. Like, okay, I got that. James likes to cook. Okay, cool. Cassidy is very creative. She likes making clothes. Okay, cool. Cody, okay, probably gonna have to find something to relate to with him because I don't drink and I don't do drugs. So I gotta find something. I'm like Jesse's a quiet guy. Okay, so I'm like picking up things on everybody, and you get no info, by the way, dude.
Yeah.
No info. No.
Nothing.
This is what I think like confuses people, like when they see the show and people are like, what's going on? Literally, that's exactly what it feels like. You don't know what's going on. You actually don't even get your buff anymore. You don't have a buff. They say drop your buffs. You actually have to do that. You literally drop your buff, and then they pick it up off the ground. And so then we're like, all right, dude, like, well, where's the merge buff? Like, we're on the merge. Like, where's the buff? And we still don't get it. And nobody says anything. And then we just like the sun starts to set, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing anything today. And the sun sets, and then you wake up the next day and hope that you get some more info.
Yeah.
So it
Yes,
was
So is it the show that's
That-
kind of leaving you in limbo? Like they kind of want you to be kind of uncertain what's going on, right?
100%, bro. They want you to be uncertain. They want you to be confused. They want you to yes,
Yeah.
like that. The goal is for you to not have any clue of anything that's
Yeah, a
happening.
little disorientation. When you first said it, I thought you were talking like when you merge and you meet up with the Vessi tribe and the Coco tribe. They're kind of a little guarded, like they're not relinquishing any of things that they've learned from their end. Like, who is it? Carla had an immunity early on, and like maybe only
Absolutely.
Cassidy knew that, right? But nobody's truly knowing that.
Absolutely, everybody is, man. Everybody's guarded, and for me, I was at the point in the game where I was actually ready to just break off. I was ready to just break off and do my own thing because I was getting so like the build up had happened. I felt like Ellie was a huge threat in the game. I felt like she was really good at the game, and I felt like she was like lying to me and kind of like maneuvering. And so I'm like, dude, I gotta take my little puppy dogs. I gotta take Gabler and I gotta take Owen and because I can control them a little bit. So I'm like, I got to take them too, and we just got to break off. We just got to break off. And at this point, obviously, we knew Janine had an idol, but I didn't go out spilling that to everybody. So to your point, Nick, like that's so true. Everybody's so guarded, and nobody says anything bad about each other, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to. You can pick up on things. You can pick up on. Okay, I say that. I say you could pick up on things, but I was actually like I I I couldn't pick up on quite like there were people I couldn't
I'm
pick up.
sure there's
I couldn't pick up
dynamics. Yeah.
anything on Jesse. I couldn't pick up anything on Jesse. I didn't know what his role was in his tribe. I thought he was going to get voted off at that point because of the challenge and stuff. And my biggest takeaway when we merged before we did the split team thing was I love Cody, I love Carla, I love James, I love Cass, and Cody, Carla, James, Cass, and Noel. Noel was also somebody I was like, these people, like I'm messing with these people heavy. Like these people are cool.
Yeah, you start to form a new bond with who you start to think that are gonna be the picks that'll carry you through to the next stages. Final circle, final three, whatever.
It's not even an envious like it's not even like bro, the merge sounds fun to a lot of people. It is. It's cool to make it there, but bro, it was not fun, man. Like sitting around in a circle with everybody and like dude,
Kumbayaing.
it's like that's when the game really starts, obviously, right? So like you go back to square one though. You go right back to square one of like I would really love to tell this story right now about I would like we're sitting there painting. I'm like, bro, I want to tell the story of when I painted like, a private part on this little canvas thing that we did when me and my mom were little and she got all mad at me. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't know if they would think it's funny. Like, and then you're like, oh, dude, I would love to. Oh man, like, I would love to like talk in front of everybody right now, but I don't want somebody to think I'm trying to command the car. You start second guessing everything all over again because you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of new people that you have to reconnect with, and there's not much time to do it because someone's getting voted out very soon. And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, that is the reason why you're there, right? You're there to get through the next vote and make it to the next step, whatever that might be. So for you, like you said before, you had Gabler, you had Owen, like you were kind of sat pretty again in the merge numbers. You were never really the target early on. You found your way to be on the right side of the votes by using your Baka tribe members, and then also connecting with other people on the other side of like you said, Noel and all those people. Really finding you found the right groove, honestly, for a while. Explain where you felt you sat for most of the game up until day 21, and we'll get into day 21 a little bit further because we know that's the day that your torch got stuffed. But let's get further into
Bad
kind of where
day.
you
Yeah.
Bad
let's get
day.
kind of where'd you feel up until day 21?
Yeah, man. So just going back to the earn the merge, I was vulnerable. I could have gotten voted off right there when we merged, but then we planted the seeds and tried to work. And then I wanted Ellie to go home. Ellie went home. The next vote, Dwight's the one that goes home. I'm literally told about that at the last second by Carla, and I'm like, I think something completely different's happening. Carla tells me like, hey Sammy, if you want to be on the right side, vote for Dwight. Because Cody and Jesse didn't tell me anything. They didn't tell me anything. And Carla was like, if you want to be on the right side, vote for Dwight. I'm like, dang, bro. Like, all right. So I took a leap of faith, voted for Dwight. So hyped. I was so hyped because I was like, bro, I'm on the right side. Like I'm in this power group now. The next vote's Janine. I wished it wasn't Janine. I wanted it to be Ryan, but I couldn't get the votes to swing my way. So I went with it. They told me it's gonna be Janine. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be Janine. So then we split into two different people, into two different teams on islands, and the vote's supposed to be Owen. Now it's supposed to be my dog, right? Now it's supposed to be my baka. And I'm like, I can't have it, bro. I just can't have it. So we're gonna vote James. So I get all of us 4-1. We all vote for James. After that, that's where the game goes south for me. When there's 8 people left. And mind you, when you're on the right side, when you're doing the right thing, like the right vote or whatever, ego's getting, like you're blowing a balloon up, dude. The ego's getting inflated. And
Yeah.
you start to really believe, okay, I really got this thing. I'm in control of this thing. And so when there's 8 people left, everybody's eyes are on me a little bit because I just voted we just voted out James. And there was a big group of us. There was 6. We had a 6. We had a solid 6. Myself, James, Cassidy, Carla, Jesse, Cody. And so I went against the 6. So it's like, Sammy, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, have you ever played those video games where there's like a security guard or something, and then you like alert the guard, and like there's like a little circle, and when the circle fills up, then he sees you're there.
Yeah.
It's like Slender. It's like Slender Man. If he sees you and you stare at him, he knows you're there. But if he sees you and then you just like get out of the way, he's gonna be like, all right, bro. Like I saw that, but that was kind of weird. So like that was like how everybody was with me. It's like, Sammy, bro. Like, all right, we trust you, man, but like this is a little weird. This is a little odd. Like you shouldn't have done that. So I'm like, whatever, bro. I'm the big dog. You can't tell me what to do. And so I'm like, dude, I gotta make a big move, man. Like, and so I'm like, dude, we gotta vote Carla off. So we actually win this reward where we get to go eat pizza. It's me, Noel, Owen, Jesse. I'm like, bro, we should do this, man. We got to do this. We got to vote. We got to vote off. What I said first is we got to vote off Cassidy. We got to vote off Cassidy. She's doing pretty good. She's good at the challenges. We got to.
Yeah, you just finally chinked away at that final Coco group. You got James out, and now it's like you got to break up Cassidy and Carla at that point.
And I want to leave this 6. I want to be at the end with Owen and Gabler. I'm like, dude, if I'm at the end with those guys, like, I can say, I can tell everybody that's sitting on the jury, like, hey guys, like, remember we were working together and now I'm here. Like this is, and so anyways, they're all like, cool, yeah, let's do it. Jesse comes up to me. Sorry, excuse me. So then we go back to camp. Immunity challenge happens. Cassidy wins. Great. Fantastic.
Plan out the door.
Plan completely out the door. And so then I'm like, okay. And so Jesse's like, dude, what do we do now? Such a smart guy, bro. He asks me, what's the best way to give somebody like power in their own head? Ask them a question, dude. He asked me, he's like, what should we do now? I'm like, dude, let's go ahead and vote Carla. And by the way, at this point, Carla's like this. I'm like, I literally said in the episode before writing her name down, I'm like, Carla's my number 1. I trust her the most. So I was like, dude, if I feel that way about her, and Jesse feels,
everyone else does.
Everybody's
right?
gonna feel that way about her. Let's get rid of her, man. Let's do it. Time to start. Because at this point, bro, I got addicted to doing. I got addicted to lying, bro. I got addicted to just deceiving people, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be the biggest deceit ever.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that happens. I spend all day trying to make Carla feel safe, and then the tribal comes, and I'm sitting up there, pretty confident, pretty feeling like I'm in control. First vote, Carla. That's not good. That's usually the first vote is usually not who goes home, so that's not really what I wanted to see. Sammy. My name comes up for the first time ever, and I'm like, what the heck? What just happened? And then he says Carla, and I'm like, actually, excuse me, I got the order wrong. It was Carla. It was 2 Carlas, and then it was my name. So when it was my name, I was like, great, I'm going
This
home.
is it.
Yeah.
And then it was Noel, whatever. Noel gets voted off.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, guys, pretty smooth go for me to that point. I sat in the tribal. I wanted to puke. I just wanted to puke.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like everything came crashing down. And then we get back to camp, and you can see all of this in the episode. But they're like, all right, who wrote my name down? And I'm like,
I didn't.
I don't know. I think it was Gabler. And then Carla was like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to him then. And then I remember thinking in my head, thinking of like, seeing Gabriel like, no, no, no. Like I could see him like talking to Carla, being like, nope, I didn't write. Nope, I didn't do it. Nope, I didn't do it. And I was like, bro, I can't do that to him. So I was like, all right, I did it. I wrote your name down. And then I went off. I did like a little interview. I came back to they're all like, bro, it was like out of a movie, bro. They're all laying in the bed, like, ha ha ha, ha ha, yeah, ha ha, ha, like laughing, talking. I come back. I'm like, yo, can I like get in? And Carla's like, ugh. And then she slides over for me to get in. And that's a night I'll never forget, man. I remember looking up at the stars that night. Like, what have I done? What have I done? My game is toast. And so that's a very long way of answering your question. But to answer it, I felt extremely confident in where I was at in the game until it just went, oh, like, luckily for me, I wasn't blindsided at that time. But being in the game and having that happen is just like a draining feeling, dude. Like, just like knowing you're on the bottom while you're still in the game is crazy. It's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. You mentioned a second ago you wanted, sometimes you want to make the move, right? We want to vote Nick out, but Sammy wants to keep Nick and vote somebody else out. Like, when do you have to kind of keep the balance? Like, okay, like I want this move, but the majority wants this. I'm just kind of sit back and go with the majority, not make too much cause. Just get to the next vote, right? Just get to the next vote. That's what you're telling yourself. Just get to the next stage, get to the next vote. And so, like, how do you balance like wanting to make your own move of like, hey, like let's get rid of him, but then like the majority's like, nah, like we're going with this, and you gotta kind of just have to ride with the majority.
Yeah, so the biggest thing with that, I remember I wanted Ryan out at 11 instead of Janine. But you have to really get a feeling for the beauty of the move not working out in your favor in those situations is you get a really good grasp on what are people how are people playing this game. So if I want to vote Ryan off, but this person doesn't want to do it because like I'm not going to like say anybody's name or anything, but like, oh, this person doesn't want to do it because oh, we can always do that later. Then you can make a mental note to yourself, okay, this person's not trying to play right now. This person's trying to play later. So this person clearly feels comfortable enough that they'll be here a few votes from now. Cool. No, I'll note that.
Yeah.
And you have to like note things like that like throughout the game. But as far as like when to know when you can make a move, when you can't make a move, you can make a move when you have the numbers of the people that are not being kept in the know. So when we voted James off and I was able like I felt like okay, we can make this move right now because I've got Owen and Noel on my side. They've been out of the know for the last 3 votes.
Owen didn't
All
have a
they
single.
want is to be on the right side. That's all they want.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like we can do this right now. Or, even further than that, when you can get it into a way that it actually benefits somebody else. Nobody in this game is ever going to do anything because Ryan wants it or because Nick wants it. You have to frame it like, Ryan, dude, this is good for you because, like, at the end of the day, like, Nick, like, you're going to have to cut Nick off anyways. So, like,
Yeah.
let's just do it right now. Let's get her done. And then that way we can kind of both just, when you can frame it that way, that's when you know you can make that move. But
It's a
the
selfish
biggest
game.
problem is people are not, but people are too selfish, man. They get too power hungry. You just like,
I feel like
I don't know if you guys are watching right now, but Q just did that. I'm like,
Q's going a little crazy. Yeah, Q blew up his game. I think he's got a long way to go from here.
good thing he's likable, right? I mean, like, come on. But what were you about to say, Nick?
no, I was gonna say I feel like that's what happened. So I don't know if Ryan said this before, but he was just up. He was up visiting, and we just binge watched the shit out of your guys' season, so that we prepped for this podcast. That was the first season I watched since like season 1 or 2. But
Let's go.
yeah. So and I feel like that's what happened to James. He got power hungry. He was very comfortable. Like, yeah, I'm pulling the weight around here. I got Carl on my side. I got Cassidy. We're all making decisions. Like, Vessie's got their own little crew, and like Cody and Jesse, like they are pulling the strings on their end. And I feel like like Jesse, like you said, he's smart, right? He'll feed James's ego, be like, yeah, this move's good for you, man. Yeah, this is how we do it. And then that's kind of how what backfired against James is like he just got so hungry. He's like, yeah, like I'm definitely on the right side of the boat every time. This ain't gonna happen, and you get comfortable, right?
And when Owen tried to talk to him, that's why they got in that little argument. Is because James literally just said like, "Bro, listen, man, you've been trying to vote me out. Like, I'm not trying to work with you, bro. Like, it is what it is." Net 101, bro. I don't care how much beef you got with somebody. I don't care how pissed off somebody been making you, whatever it is, bro. Everybody has a chance, always. And at the very least, you might need that person's vote for a milli, bro. You might need it. And so, to your point, it's exactly right, man. James got a little bit too caught up, and that's why we were able to just sneak up behind him and take his lunch money.
Yeah,
That's why.
he didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And that's the way that you want it. Like when it's set up like that, to answer your questions further, Ryan, like when it's set up like that, that's when you take that shot. When you can see somebody's not able to help themselves and like see all the angles of it, boom, done.
Knock him out. Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Like Tony said.
So
Boom.
so then Tony, legend. So then day 21 comes around, and that's when the knockout punch comes for you. Let's
It was
get
a
into
TKO. It wasn't a knockout. It was
TKO.
technical.
Yeah,
It was technical.
yeah.
I'll give you
Shot in the
that. I'll
dark.
give you that. Yeah, I mean that's really like the highlight of. There's probably a lot more that went into that day, but that's really the highlight of from what we saw is like the shot in the dark, right? There's always the chance where if you don't play the shot in the dark, you keep a vote, maybe someone votes with you, and you have enough votes to rally the troops and get somebody out. But by sacrificing your vote to hope for a chance at safety, you really kind of you're banking on that 1 in 6 shot to get that safety. And so, where was just talk us through your mental state of what you were thinking on that day?
Bro, it's crazy, man. You get to a point. I got to a point where I was feeling really good, actually. Surprisingly enough, I went into the day thinking, okay, I think it could be me. Like that's not good. And I'm like, well, I think it could be me. I knew it was me. I know I'm the one going home that night if I don't get some cooking. All of a sudden, this guy comes up on a boat, and there's an advantage hidden in your jungle. I'm like, bro, this is me. This is it. I haven't found an idol. I haven't done anything that my 8-year-old cousin would think is cool yet. This is gonna be the cool thing. And so I'm like running around. Obviously, you guys saw it. It's literally like
In plain
literally
sight.
like right here. It's literally right here, and I walked past it like this.
It's the heart
Like,
on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
heartbreaking, dude. Like, let's go ahead and
Break the heart.
fix that, dude. Absolutely heartbreaking, man. Like that was me. Like I just walked right past this. I'm like, damn, bro. And then on top of that, there is one challenge, one that I knew I would never win, no matter how hard I tried. And I remember watching it on YouTube and watching it and on looking at it on Reddit and being like, I never want to do that. I never want to do that. And that's the challenge that it is. It's last gasp. That's the challenge. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, all right, well, I'm not going to be immune. So now what? And so as the day went on and I'm talking to people, I started to feel like, bro, actually, okay, I'm working right now. I remember saying to one of the producers, I remember being like looking at him, like nodding, like, I might just get out of this, man. Like, I might get out of this. And obviously they don't react, there's like, we'll see. Like, and so I'm like, bro, all right. So I'm going around talking to everybody, feeling pretty good about it's going to be Cassidy. I felt like it's going to be Cassidy because I had planted the seed earlier. Carla, Cassidy lied to you. Gabler and Owen, I'm like, dude, I know, like, dude, those are my guys. Like, we're good. Like, they're gonna have my back. So much so, actually, me and Gabler went off to go pick some peppers for the rice, man. We wanted to go pick some peppers. Peter Piper pickled peppers, something like that. Like we went out and got some for the rice, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it's pretty simple. It's gonna be Cassidy, nothing too crazy, and we're gonna be here at 6, and we're gonna go to the end together, right? And he's like, yes, sir, brotherly love forever. Except for that wasn't the case at all, and so I remember me and Cass didn't talk because at this point Cass is like, all right, Sammy, like I want it to be you, like, and so it was kind of just this awkward, like we just weren't gonna talk, and so you can still hear me, right? Instead of trying to reconnect, I don't know. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
It looks good.
And
Yeah.
so then Gabler at the end of I'm actually debating. I actually kind of want, like, I'm not trying to gatekeep or whatever. Maybe don't forget though. Put this in the notes. Ask him about that. Ask him about the
The fist
story
bump?
of no.
The-
Ask him about Coyote. Ask him about Sammy and Coyote.
Is that a code word?
Sammy Coyote. So he gave me that code word. Yeah, he gave me the code word. I'll tell you it. I'm not gonna like. I'll tell you it. He'll tell you it way funnier. I'll just give you the quick version. He basically just said to me, he's like, bro, you're not gonna have to use your shot in the dark. Don't worry about it. You're good. Don't worry. But if you do, I'll say, let's come up with a code word. Like I'll say coyote. Okay, sounds good. And I was like, all right. I'm not gonna have to use it though, right? Like, just tell me right now if I have to use it. And he's like, no. But if I say the word coyote, then like
you might need to play it.
You might want to look into playing it. And I'm like, dude, just tell me. Is it like? He's like, no. I'm like, all right, cool. So then when we do the medical check in the tent, like I mentioned to you before, like we go in those little tents before tribal and stuff. It just happens it's me and Gabler, and I'm like, we're like he's leaving as I'm going in, and you're still not supposed to talk to each other, but at this point you let a couple words go, right? Maybe like you don't talk, but you say a couple things, whatever, because it's late in the game, and we're not gonna expose anything, right? So it's like he goes, looks at me, sees I'm coming in, he's like, good luck with this coyote right here, and he taps me on the shoulder, and I'm like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sickening
Yeah.
feeling.
I'm like, bro, what? Like, there's no. I don't think I heard him. I don't think I heard him right. Like, I don't think that was right. Like, and so we go into tribal. I'm like looking at everybody, and I'm just like, you mother. I can lie to you guys all I want, but when you guys lie to me,
It's not
that's
cool.
when we have a problem. That's when I get upset. And so then I was like, so I was asking, I'm trying to ask Cody in front of me. I'm like, bro, my good. But I don't want Jeff to call me out because I didn't want to like blow it up if I didn't have to. I'm like, bro, Cody, my good, bro, my good. It's not looking I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, Gabler. He's sitting next to me. Gabler, I'm like, Gabler, bro, am I good? Am I good? Am I good? Am I good? I'm like, bro, do I need to play it? Look at me. Look at me if I need to play it. Look at me. And he's just like this. Like this is like all I could see. He's like this. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, what does that even mean? And so
Are you good? Do I
I was
play
getting
it?
so fed up. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'm good then, whatever. So I was getting fed up, and then Jeff said, Sammy, I don't know. He asked me a question, and then I just started talking, and I was like, you know what, bro? This man. I was like,
And you blew it up.
I'm gonna play my shot in the dark tonight. And then everybody looks at me like, what?
Yeah.
And then Carla, like I remember Carla said like, oh well. And looking back on it, it's funny because Carla actually was not gonna vote for me that night. She was gonna vote for Cass or
Yeah, that was
I think.
yeah, that was the play. They were gonna trick
That
Carla
was what
into voting Cassie. He was only gonna beat
Yeah.
Carla, and that way it was
Yeah.
gonna split that little duo right there.
I was going home regardless. Like I was always going home, and so like it was like, yeah, I remember they said, and so she was like, I mean, and then Jeff was like, well, how do you guys feel about that? And I remember Carl was like, well, it's unfortunate, and I was like, man, what's unfortunate? Like, what's unfortunate about it? How is it unfortunate? Like, tell me how it's unfortunate. Like, because now I just think everybody was lying to me, and I was like, everybody's lying to me, bro. Like, what are we doing, Jeff? Like, everybody's lying to me, man. Like, and so I still really didn't want to do it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to do it the entire time. And I thought about, dude, maybe this will change something. But then like everybody was like, I remember he asked Cody, he asked Cody the same thing, and Cody was like, well, sounds like he's swinging for the fences, so hope he hits a home run. And I was like,
Damn.
Yeah.
Coffin.
all right, bro, like not much else I could do here. And so I went up to the booth and I thought about it and I was like, dude, I ain't no loser ass dude. Like I'll play this thing, I guess. Like whatever, bro. And so I was like, I pulled it out, played it, whatever. And just quickly just quickly realized, even it's crazy. Even when he said I wasn't safe, I still was holding out some hope. Like, all right, well, maybe I still am good somehow.
Yeah, some sort of get out of
But
jail
then
free card.
after something, dude, then after I heard my name twice, I was like, all right, man. Like it was a good run, but that
It's
was
raps.
it was a blur. I don't even remember that span of time. It just was like so fast, man.
Yeah.
So you had I mean that's just like it gotta be an insane time for you, right? 1 in 6 shot, you're sitting there for however long it shows. On TV it was quick, but probably a little bit longer, 15, 20 minutes. You're just sitting there like, damn,
Yeah.
like just praying this thing comes
Well, that's the
true.
other thing. Usually it takes a while. It usually takes quite a while for Jeff to count the votes to build the suspense a little bit. I felt like with mine, he didn't have to take that long.
It was quick.
Because it was like, all right, and obviously, if there was like, he knew I was playing my shot in the dark, so it's like, all right, let's see how this unfolds. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, come on, bro. Like, and that, my friends, anybody that thinks Survivor is rigged, tell me that wouldn't have been good TV, bro. Tell me that if it was rigged for them to make me safe, like they would have made me safe if it was
Would have been
rigged.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been perfect TV.
Come on, bro. Like, anyways, so yeah, that was all a blur,
Yeah.
man. I couldn't believe it was just like, oh, it was just over. I was like, dang, bro.
Fire's gone. The dream comes true of Jeff putting it out. Now you're on your little walkway to
That was
whatever.
never my dream. That was never my dream.
Jeff was dreaming. He woke
Screw
up and he
that.
dreamt it.
Yes, yes. He dreams of doing it to everyone.
Yeah. Ugh,
He does.
He loves that.
But yeah, man. It was like it was surreal to like be out of it, and then being on the jury was. Oh man, it was hard. It got harder as the days went on because you just sit and you just start. That night I'm very proud. I'm happy with the way everything happened. As things go on,
You
it
learn more.
starts to, yeah, you start to get a little bit more what's the word I guess I'm looking for, like remorseful. Like you just start wishing that you did things a little bit differently or that you were still in the game. That's what it was mostly, was just I just wanted to be in the game. I just wanted to be in the game doing my thing and like playing, like especially in those later stages, man. Like I was like I would hear about the challenges. I'm like, dang, bro, like wish I was there for that. So that was tough as it went on. And then when I got home, it got even worse. That's when it got the worst. I don't want to like jump too far ahead, whatever, but it's like it was brutal.
Nick, do you have a question?
I forget what I was gonna say, but where I thought you were going with that too is like you said you're a little bit remorseful and you were thinking about maybe thinking about how if you just played this one little strategy differently, or like when we voted off this person and had I swung a vote differently on this, like you start thinking about all those minor factors that could have changed the entire scope of the game for you.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely, man. I remember thinking about just the like in the general scope of things, just thinking like, dang, bro, I wish I picked an ally, man. Like I wish I picked somebody that was like I could trust like this, like how Jesse and Cody were.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically with Jesse being just so like frustrated that I didn't like catch on, like that I couldn't see what he was doing, because I feel like I'm usually pretty decent at like reading people, and I couldn't read him at all. He's just a legend, and I was just like, dang, bro, like I couldn't like. I remember feeling like, oh man, like I'm gonna look stupid and like all that kind of thing. As far as just wishing I did something differently, like I did it the way I wanted to do it. Really playing in the middle was so much fun, bro. So much fun, and like exactly what I wanted to do. I think I wish I picked a side and stuck with it a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Because at
Because I
some
picked a
point,
side when there were 7 people left and I was the only one that was going to go home. You
Yeah.
know?
right, you can ride the middle, and then there's that point where you gotta go one way, and you gotta figure out who it is that you're gonna ride with to the end, and at least that way you can
Absolutely.
keep some strong numbers. But I know you got to go here in 20ish minutes or so because of class or whatnot. But we'll kind of wrap up the in-game talk. And what was so you kind of dove into it. Jury was tough. You obviously want to be in the game, so you want to be playing, you want to be competing, you want to be able to go to tribal and vote. Everything is just, but you're still there. It's all right there. It's a tough place to be. What is it like post game? You're back home. Obviously, game aside, you're still regretting things, but what's the life like? You just were on Survivor. It's now
Dude,
about to air on TV, and like your world's changed pretty much.
dude, I'm nine, I'm still 19. Obviously, it's not. I was only gone for a month, and I just it was so weird. It was so weird. Like I the girl I was dating at the time, like before we broke up before I went on the show, because I'm like, I need my head to be clear.
I gotta be
So I
here.
got back and like begged her to get back with me, and like we got back together, and then like that it didn't end up working out again because like it was just like, and so that was frustrating, I guess. And then like I was just like, I remember I finished 42. I wasn't able to finish it because it was still airing while we were filming, and I finished watching it and got this. When Survivor was over in real life, I was okay. I was ready to go home. And then watching it back, bro, it was so tough. I just missed every part of it. I missed every part of that experience. Not to mention, guys, I man, I try. I try to go to the gym. I try to do my thing. I try, okay? I try. My body was
Destroyed.
I just effed. I remember we got to the airport, my twin brother, and I was like, bro, look, I lift my shirt up, I started like like poking my belly. And he's like, bro, you're not like poking your stomach out? And I was like, no. Because I had 5 days of just eating whatever in a stomach that was a fifth of the
Small.
size that it was when I
Yeah.
started.
Right.
And so my belly was just jelly. Like it was just a jelly belly of like pina coladas and quesadillas. And
I
so
think
like
I think Nick actually noticed there was an episode where you came on the jury and he's like, "Damn, it looks like Sammy's been eating decently."
I didn't say
dog,
that.
yeah. Nick, bro, if you said that, you're a legend because the absolute case, I shaved my face. Like I had like my jawline was pretty, pretty poignant, or whatever on the show. I shaved my face and I remember seeing myself like I could see my little double chin. Like I could see like I was like, damn, bro, like I didn't know it worked that fast because the way it works, you go eat the food in the cafeteria or whatever, and then I ate like a chocolate milkshake, bleh, puke it all up. I'm like, dude, I'm not eating the rest. I'm not gonna eat until like tomorrow during the lunch. I'm just so full right now. So I walk back to my room, Doritos, cookies, Biscoff, just all right there. So I gotta smash those. I gotta eat those real quick. So I ate all that, whatever, bro. It was like, man, it was tough though. Like coming back was tough because I started forgetting what really happened, and I was like, man, like I don't know, like I don't know how this is gonna come out. And I started feeling that was the thing for me that was crazy. Ellie specifically, I started feeling so bad, man. Started feeling so bad for lying, for manipulating, for deceiving people. And it was just it was a roller coaster of emotions. I was so emotional, man.
Yeah. So all in all, like you kind of answered a few questions I already had. Like you wish you would have found an ally that you could have been, tied up with, and wish you would have had that one person. I guess just two. We'll get two Survivor questions in, and then we'll do our typical episode questions, just because there is a time frame. Obviously, you got to go here soon. But first question is obviously it's a tough game, a lot tougher than people think it is before they get out there. But what surprised you the most about the game?
That right there, how tough it was. Well, I won't say that. That's lame. I will say the amount of people that work countless hours to make it go.
Yeah.
The crew is huge.
Shout out
It's
production.
huge. On a small island, it is huge. Like, and they are all grinding, like doing like whether you're a boom guy. If we want to just go dip our face in the ocean, and there's not a camera guy on the beach, Sammy's going to the ocean. Run over. If I go too deep, guess what? It's not like, hey, Sammy's going deep. Go ahead and put your water shoes on. they go in there with their shoes and pants. They'll just walk in the
I'm
ocean.
not prepared for this, but gotta
Jeez.
go.
Yeah,
Gotta go.
Yeah.
They're freaking so hardworking, bro.
elite. Yeah, and then this is a dumb question. I already know the answer, but if you got the call again from that 925 number, whatever it was, would you play? Would you play again?
Dude, the biggest problem is I've only gotten bigger. I've only gotten stronger. I've only gotten smarter. And I've only gotten broker. I've only gotten more poor.
Start spending more money.
So absolutely, I would go back out there, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like most people would say yes to that question that played the game.
Yeah, it was an insane experience. There's a lot of drawbacks. There's a lot of things that you don't expect going into it, for sure, that I would take into consideration. But you can't say no to that experience.
Yeah.
I want to sneak in a couple questions here real quick. Two of them will be real quick, and then one kind of just elaborate because definitely want to understand your state of mind on it. But first one, I wish we could go deeper on this, but obviously keeping your time in mind. After you said you experienced being there and you didn't even experience it, right? And then you watched it on YouTube later. And from your frame of mind, where you thought you had your allies and all this the entire time you were on the island, and you thought one way, and then you watched later and you realized someone else was scheming something completely different. Did that catch you off guard, or like did you kind of pick up on it afterwards where you're like, damn, Ellie really was like sneaking through Gaylor's back or whatever it was, right?
You have like discussions, right? You talk to people. I mean, you talk to your cast every day, man. Every day I was talking to somebody when I got back. Every day you're very close, like very in the moment. Seeing those moments, like with Jesse specifically, like just being a dog, it does make you go like, damn, bro, I had no idea, man, what was going on, man. I had no idea what was going on, and like with our tribe, I thought it was hilarious. Like I thought my tribe was great and hilarious, and seeing the way everybody thought, and like I would say it definitely caught me off guard, bro. Like for sure,
Yeah.
Jesse caught me off guard, like for sure.
I remember watching the episode after what was it? Dwight just left, and then they're interviewing Jesse. He's like, "Yeah, Dwight just left with Janine's idol, but turns out I got two idols right now." You're like, what?
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
On the jury, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So insane, bro.
Slick, man. He played it, like you said, legend. He played that double cross Cody there. That move's got to go down in history.
You called me earlier before you came on.
Oh, really?
He came on the pod briefly.
No way.
You FaceTimed me, yeah.
Oh, sick. Hey, shout out Relatively Uncharted for us if you can. We want some legendary Jesse
I
talk.
DM'd him, so Sammy's gonna hit him up, tell him
No,
to come on the pod.
Yes, I will. Yes, I
Hell
will.
yeah. Are you still tight with all those people?
That's the other thing, man. That's the greatest. That's I don't know if you're gonna ask about this, but that's the reason that I would say yes to doing this all over again, is because not everybody, right? You can't stay tight with everybody. People have different lives and different experiences, and obviously the people I didn't get to play the game with, like NECA or like Gio or Lindsay, I'm not as close with them. I didn't get to play the game with them, but the people I was out there with and got to do this with, me and Gabler and Cody have a yearly Hawaii trip that we do. It's a great time. I feel like I age very quickly on that trip. I talk to Jesse all the time. I'm very cool with, it's super cool, man.
That's awesome. You kind of form a new family there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of my other questions, maybe we'll make all three of them quick, but you kind of answered a little bit, but you got more and more broke now that the show's over. Was there some kickback afterwards? Like, did you see any sort of windfall because of it?
What do you mean, like
prize money,
like that, like negative from the show?
No, prize money.
No, like,
or
do they pay you for how long you lasted? Is basically
I got a
what
Honda
asking.
Civic.
Yeah.
I got a 2017 Honda Civic with 72K miles, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. I was so
From
excited.
CBS?
That was your reward money?
I mean, I guess indirectly, yeah, from CBS, indirectly from what I want. But I still like, I don't live off that money, but it's like a lot of it. Like I was able to keep a lot of it. So
Yeah.
That's been huge, like as far as like giving me an opportunity to like be a little more comfortable, not work as often, things like that. So
Yeah.
that was super cool, but it ain't gonna last you forever.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
gonna
It's not $1 million,
the show.
right? But you got something.
Even a milli wouldn't. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, bro? I would have put it on a 3-man parlay. So
Yeah. All right. Third question. Just kind of say like yes or no, I guess, on this because we're running out of time. But after experiencing that, you kind of saw all the different sides of humanity in society, like the people getting scheming and stabbing people in the back, and then kind of forming alliances. But how much more mature did you come out of that 1 month trip there from seeing all of this? Like, do you feel like you read people better and are able to form better bonds with others?
it's something that I can look to. I was not always. I know people would not believe this because I'm very like jokingly cocky, like in like I'm not always the most like biggest fan of like what I'm able to do. I'm not always the biggest believer in myself. And the show just gave me that times 50 because of the people I was able to do it with, or like just, the experience of doing it on its own has given me the confidence that I really believe I could go. I believe that I will start like I could go into Tesla tomorrow and run the company. Like I could like that's what I feel. Like I just feel that way. I feel like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna figure it out. And that's as a direct result of the people I did this show with, the people that that have said such kind things to me, that treat me so good, that gave me the friendships that we now have, that you become your surroundings, and these people that have surrounded me, that have been through so much that I have not been through, and some of which I hope to never go through, to be completely honest, is so powerful because it allows me the opportunity to grow. It allows me the opportunity to become a better person through their experiences. And so that's the part that was also surprising to Ryan's question a little earlier. It was like people say all the time, like, "Oh, I came out here to win $1 million," but it's I don't know, like, and people always usually say, "Oh, I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to make $1 million." Bro, the friends is worth so much more, man. It's so like you guys are talking to Gabler on Monday, like that's like that dude has given me, in the 2 years I've known him, he's given me billions of dollars worth of experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just like those things mean so much more. So it's absolutely, man. I feel like I
Yeah.
was able to mature a little bit because of that.
Yeah. Love that. Appreciate that, man. That's awesome.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, man. Like we said, you got to go. So these are questions we ask. We asked the final segment. We asked our guests all these questions, but we'll get into the kind of wrap up phase, and then we'll let you go off to whatever you got to do. But I always ask
This
a
is
fun
work, bro. I
question.
hate it.
Just work.
Lame,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I always ask a fun question, kind of detailed to the guest. So obviously you're Survivor player, so it's gonna be around Survivor. My question for you: if you could go back to any season, like Heroes versus Hustlers versus Healers, Island of the Idols, Edge of Extinction, any one of them, Game Changers, which game do you feel you fit like the theme the best? What's your favorite season, or which game would you want to go play in?
Heroes versus villains, bro.
And what would you be?
I'm a villain, dog.
Yeah.
I look way better in red. I'm wearing red all day, man. I'm a villain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna embrace it too. I'm gonna embrace it. I will lie to everybody.
There you go.
Someone's
That's
got to
your
do it.
casting card right there. Send that shit in.
Yes, sir.
All right, Nick.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Ryan kind of said it's the same questions we ask every guest every episode. So we just want to hear what your answers are. So run it off. What's your favorite book, either fiction or nonfiction? What's your favorite movie? And what is your favorite song?
Okay, book. Green Lights, Matthew McConaughey.
Love it.
I love that book. So good. Favorite movie? Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, sir.
Love Interstellar.
Yeah. Does he have a
That
song
movie's
too?
so
choice.
fire.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer. No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
Yeah.
My favorite song, it just changes all the time.
Yeah.
I love Luke Combs, but he just got surpassed. My favorite song right now is probably It's probably The Ends by Travis Scott. There's another guy, Steve Lacy. I don't know if you guys know who Steve Lacy is. He's really good. I'm into like the stuff that's like pretty popular. I like Morgan
Yeah.
Wallen, I guess. I'm not like I just got into Zach Bryan, but I'd say The Ends by Travis Scott for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good stuff
Shut
right
it.
there.
So, Ryan, the other day, did they say you look like Morgan Wallen? Is that one of the doppelgangers
No.
they threw you?
I can totally see that, bro.
Yeah.
Well, one girl said Morgan Wallen, the other girl said Travis Kelce.
Yeah. When you're clean cut, maybe Travis Kelce.
I hope you got both numbers, buddy. I hope you got both of them because those are both two good-looking guys.
They are solid dudes for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sammy, we appreciate your time, man. This has been awesome. One for me, and Nick's kind of a newer Survivor fan, but for me, I've been watching this game since I was, young, just like all of us Survivor geeks are. So getting to talk to you and hang out with you for a little bit, getting to know your game, and just getting to know you also has been an awesome time.
Yes, sir, bro. I appreciate you guys, man. This was a ton of fun, bro. I'm sorry I had to dip out, but
No worries,
Yeah,
dude.
man. No, listen, that means you come back for Sammy Part 2. So,
done, bro. Done.
Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was great having you. Sorry it was late. Appreciate you jumping on and doing this. So, definitely had a blast myself. So,
Yes, sir, bro. Appreciate you guys, man.
likewise.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Be well.